We are starting this orientation session for ACCA PM Performance Management for June 2025 exam session. PM, it is from one of your exams from the second level, which is called ACCA Applied Skills level. From skills, you have F4, F5, F6, F7, F8, F9, which you call, LW or PM, TX, FR, AA, and FM. So many people, when they come to skills level, they start with F5, which is not, in the sequence, if you see, PM comes first. But my advice to students has always been that when you come to skills level, never take PM as your first exam. Take FR as your first exam, and then after doing FR, then you should come to PM. Another one myth about PM is that it is the most challenging exam. I would call it a myth. Actually, that's a reality to somehow. Actually, pass rates are the lowest. If you see all of the skills exam, the lowest pass rate comes with ACCA Performance Manager PM, which is F5. Now, before we go into details, let me just give you some overview about this subject. It has short syllabus. It does not have the longest syllabus of all. For example, FR, F7, F9, and F6. Actually, they have longer syllabus. So F6 has longer syllabus, F7 has longer syllabus than PM, F9 has a longer syllabus than PM. So PM syllabus is short, but exam is difficult. Exam is difficult in the sense that exam is unexpected. It is like full of surprises. Like if I'm going for FR exam, so if you have done your practice kit questions, when you go to exam, the exam questions, they are actually quite similar to what you have already done. So because it's based on some standards, you have done the standard for leasing, IFRS 16. So when you go to exam, the leasing question which will come, that would be quite similar to what you have done. Same happens with F9 as well, that the exam questions are kind of expected. But in case of F5 or PM, the thing which makes it difficult is that because it is management accounting, so it does not have any boundaries. Like financial accounting, financial reporting, it has boundaries. For performance management or for PM thing, there are no boundaries. So every time when a question comes in many cases, it is a situation which you are seeing for the first time. And therefore, your conceptual understanding is very important. You see, for example, sometimes students, they say that I've done 20 questions from F5 or I've done 40 questions, I've done the BPP kit, I've done the Kaplan kit, whatever, and then they go to exam and they do not pass it. The reason is that maybe you do 20 question in exam, there will always be a 21st question. Even if you do 40 question in exam, there will always be a 41st question. So it is not about doing 40 questions. You may do 15 questions, but you do them, with proper understanding, with good conceptual understanding of the subject. So this is very important. A lot of students, they try to practice a lot, and then they go and they say, oh, I couldn't pass. And by the way, PM is the subject. I don't want to make you afraid, but PM is the only subject in which I have seen people getting flunked like 4 times, 5 times. Okay. So in F7, what happens that if somebody does not pass in first attempt, they pass it in the second attempt, most of them. But in PM, it is possible that you get flunked in the first attempt, then you fail in the second or third or fourth as well, because you are approaching it not with an how to say, you don't have a conceptual approach towards the subject. You are trying to remember things. So those people who are failing in PM, one of the reasons is that they are trying to remember things rather than understand things. So you have to understand it. Okay. Concept should be very sound. Now, where these concepts are coming from, this is the second reason. A lot of concepts are coming from your F2 management accounting, MA. So when they say that PM pass rate is less, One reason is that some students, they try to attempt it as their first skill paper, which is a mistake. They should not do it. The second reason is that some students, they come to ACCA and ACCA give them exemptions. So they come to F5 without doing F2. So then, of course, they will find it challenging because there is a section in PM which is costing, and it takes its basis from F2. Then another section is about budgeting. It takes its basis fundamental from F2. Then you have variance analysis, again, a continuation from F2. So your F2 knowledge should be very good. Okay. So if you are good with F2, you can do F5 also very well. So these are some, how to say, mistakes or some weaknesses or some reasons why people, they find it difficult. Now, what to do with that? This is what we are going to discuss, that how do we make sure that we do not, we successfully pass this exam with a good score. So it's going to be a 3 hours exam. So the structure for PM exam is exactly the same, just like you have exam format for F5, F7, F9, all have the same format. 3 hours exam. um, Exam will be held like 4 times in a week. It's first week of March, June, September, December. You know that. Result is announced in 6 weeks' time. Okay, we understood it. And about exam, computer-based exam with three sections. Yeah, three sections, A, B, and C, we are going to discuss. First, I just want to give you one advice. ACC exams, these are computer-based exams. And when you have computer-based exam, at the time of booking, you have an option that you can go for a center-based, CBE center-based exam, or you can do a remote exam. Remote means that you can take it from home or from your own place, wherever. Center means you have to go to the center. So sometimes students, they think that going to a center means that I have to travel for 30 minutes or 1 hour. Let's take exam from home, from the comfort of my home, which is a mistake. Okay. Try not to go for remote exams. Do not go for remote exams, which means do not try to take exam from home, because you will put yourself into additional trouble, into additional stress, and that will affect your performance in those 3 hours. Because when you take a remote exam, which means that you say, I'm going to take exam from home, you are responsible for internet connection, you are responsible for the data transfer, you are responsible for connectivity, everything. Okay, even power failure, whatever. And plus, in remote based exams, they have a proctor on you, and he is actually, sometimes proctors are, they create unnecessary troubles. I don't want to go into detail, but remember that there will be unnecessary trouble. Okay, show me the room, show me 360-degree views. There is someone speaking at the back. Somebody opened the door. Who came into your room? Are you reading from the book? So many things. So try to avoid the remote exam. Go for center-based exam. And for center-based exam, previously, when ACCA had paper-based exams, so paper-based exam, the exam center only had to provide you with one chair, and that's all. So if there are 50 people, 80 people, 100 people, they can put chairs in the hall, no problem. But when it becomes computer-based exam, so every student needs one computer, and there are limited number of computers in each exam center. So if the exam center which is close to you, it has 30 computers, and if 30 people have already booked the exam, it means that you will not get the booking. So do not wait. If you are planning to take exam in June 2025, close the exam booking, I think last date will be somewhere end of April, 28th of April or something. Don't wait for the last date. Book your exam at least 10 days in advance. Go for on ACCA website and book your exam before, almost 10 days before. Otherwise, it is quite possible that when you go for exam booking, they will show you that there are no places available. And then you will be stuck that I have been preparing for exam. It's been like, what, 2 months I was studying, and now I cannot sit in the exam because there are no spaces available. So go for center based exam, and book your exam probably 10 days before the last date. Okay. Okay. Syllabus areas. Management information systems and data analytics. This topic was recently, I mean, like 2 years ago, it was introduced. It's about, the role of MIS, the role of IT, the role of databases, the role of ERPs in, information systems. So this has got nothing to do with actually not directly nothing to do with the management accounting or cost accounting or something, but it's like the role of information technology. Um, Specialist cost and management accounting techniques. This is like we call it advanced costing. What you did in F2, you did absorption costing, marginal costing, and process costing. Here you are going to do advanced costing techniques such as activity-based costing, throughput accounting, target costing, environmental costing, and life cycle costing. So this is a very important section, section B. Section C is decision-making techniques. Again, you do have some decision-making techniques in F2, but here you do them in more detail. Here you will have, further processing decision, shutdown decision, make or buy decisions, relevant costing you have. So different type of decision-making techniques, very important section. And actually it could be tricky as well. Then you have budgeting and control. Again, budget, standard costing, variance analysis. So standard costing and budgeting is almost the same knowledge which you have from F2. Variances, you did basic variances in F2. In F5, you do have basic variances, plus you have advanced variances. Mix and yield variances, for example, you will get. And those advanced variances could be very, could be tricky. Then you have performance measurement and control. This is about performance measurement, performance of a business. And this is actually an important section as well. And finally, you have employability and technological skills. This is how to say, again, section A and section F. These are the two topic areas which have been added as additional, and they do not have, they do not have, how to say, a big exam weightage, but they are included in exam syllabus. They become part of some other question. So these are A, B, C, D, E, and F, four sections. The technical ones, which also involve calculations and which also have more exam weightage, is B, C, D, and E. Okay. Format of the exam, section A, three sections you will have, and this is the same structure for F5, F7, and F9. All three exams, 5, 7, 9, like performance management, financial reporting, and financial management, they have the same structure. Section 1, which is called section A, it has 15 questions, MCQs, could be calculation, could be conceptual or theoretical, 2 marks each. So 30 marks are for this section. 30 marks for this section. Section B, it will have 3 case study questions. So you will have 3 questions. So what happens here, that you will be given, one scenario. And for one scenario, there are 5 MCQs of 2 marks each. Okay. So this is one MCQ, one MCQ. So what it is also MCQs, but before these 15 MCQs are from 15 different situations. One short 3 lines, question, and then you have to answer A, B, C, D option. But here it is one single scenario, and these 5 questions are related to it. Then again, one scenario you will be given, and 5 questions related to it. Again, one scenario you will be given, and 5 questions related to it. So it is like 5 times 2, which is 10 marks, 5 times 2, and this is also 5 times 2. So total, there are 30 marks in this one as well. These questions are also MCQ type, but the difference is that they relate to one scenario. This section is also for 30 marks. So if I see section A goes for 30 marks, purely MCQs. Section B goes for 30 marks, scenario-based, case-based MCQs, 30 marks. And section C, which actually could become a nightmare for many students. Section C. Long questions, you will have 2 long questions of 20 marks each. So 20 marks into 2 questions. So 40 marks are here. And it could be a very difficult thing. I tell you, very honestly, I have been teaching PM since 2007. So it's almost like you can consider how many years, I don't know, 16, 17 years of teaching performance management. But I know that when I see a new question from section C type, I also have to think what to do. Okay. And because I am also concerned that I might not make a mistake. So there is no surety, even as a tutor, you give me a question and I say, oh, give it to me, I'll just do it like this. No, I cannot do it like this. I also have to think about it. So you have to be very careful with this. This is a challenging part. But then there is a good news that you know that where the questions are going to come from. For example, in this section C, the two questions which will appear in exam, they could be from how to say, it could be performance measurement, where you have to measure or interpret the performance of the business. Ratios will be there. Ratio analysis you have to do. And other question will come from decision making or budgeting. Budgeting means variances audit. So there is a choice. So two long question. One surely is going to come from performance measurement, and the second one could be either from decision making or it could be from the budgeting and control areas. Okay, this is something which we expect. 90% of the times this is going to happen. Um, this is how we plan or predict. Okay, now for F5, see, it is always a big concern for many students to pass this exam. So I would suggest that you focus a lot on section A and section B. You should, you should bank on these two, the first two sections, because the questions which are given in section A and section B, remember that these are short questions of 2 marks, 2 marks each, so they are not very complex and they are not into too much of detail. So if you have, you know, a reasonably good knowledge, if you are fairly good in the subject, you can attempt this one. For this thing, you must be very good. Okay, this requires a lot of effort. So you should not be depending on section C. What I suggest to students is that try to score as many marks as possible from section A and section B. And there are 60 marks. If you can score something like 40, 45 out of this, then you are left with only 10, 15, 20 marks, and then that can be achieved from section C. So try to do your very good on section A and section B, because this is your pass assurance, this is your pass guarantee. If you cannot do section A or section B good, then probably you might not be able to succeed in exam. So A and B are very important. And how to score good in A and B is, number one, to do as many MCQs as you can. And number two, not only by doing MCQs, but also by conceptually doing it or understanding it, what you have done it. Okay. What do I mean by that? I have seen many students, they pick up the book and they say, okay, question number 3 done, question number 4 finished, question 5 finished, question 6 finished. They try to go very fast. Don't do that mistake. Solve the question. Even if you have got the answer, and even if your answer is correct, do not move to the next question. Even if you have done it and your answer is correct, do not move to the next question. Please sit back, have a look. What data was given and what was required? Because it is very important what type of data was given to you, from where you have to begin, because there is a lot of manipulation of the data. So many times your solution depends on what data was given to you. So you should see, okay, this was the requirement and this was the data which was given to me. So after solving the question, you should have a look at it. Okay. And then you will actually, I'll just give you one short example. I'm not sure if it is relevant or not. Let me just, it's my personal one experience. I'll tell you that when I say have a look at it, I use Google Maps when I'm driving. Okay. And many times I have to go to some new places. So I use Google Map. So when I'm using Google Maps, so it is actually taking me, take left, take right, go there, move left, take U-turn, and then whatever. So when I reach to my destination, it is it is my habit that I actually sit back again. I open up my map and I see from where I came. Otherwise, I would never remember. The second time, again, I would need the Google map. So once I reach to that place, it's just, I don't know whether it is relevant to you or not, but for me, I just, before I leave the car, I take out my phone and I see the Google map that, okay, this is where I have come from and this is the point where I came. So next time when I will come here, I probably will not need it. But if I don't see that thing, every time I would need that Google map. So the same thing happens here. If you have done the question, if I have explained a question or you have done it yourself, please sit back, have a thought that what you have done and why you did it like this. What was given, what data was given, what was the requirement? Because sometime in exam, there is a very little requirement they change and this entire scenario changes. Data is same. Data might be the same. The question looks same, but the requirement changes. And sometimes the requirement is same, but the data is different. If the data is different, then you have to follow a different approach. Um, Let me see if you guys have done that topic or not in F2. I don't remember. Break even point, if you remember, we calculate that break even revenue. One method of calculating break even revenue was fixed cost divided by CS ratio. And one method of calculating break even revenue is break even point multiplied by the selling price. So there are two methods. I'm asking you, give me the break even revenue. You have two methods to adopt. One, break even point multiplied by the selling price. Two, fixed cost divided by the CS ratio. And CS ratio itself is contribution, which you need to, contribution to sales ratio. Contribution itself depend on the variable cost. So which method I'm going to use, that depends on the data which is given. So requirement is same, but your method can be different. The method will depend on the data which is given. So you see the question, you say, okay, why did I calculate break-even revenue in this way? Because the data was given about the variable cost and the selling price. So when they give you the selling price, they give you the variable cost, you understand that, oh, I'm getting contribution. So now I've got contribution, I've got sales, so I've got CS ratio, and then I've divide by fixed cost, whatever. So it's very important to conceptually understand what you are doing. Okay, like I said. So once you understand this method of learning, then when you go to the exam and any 45th question, so like I said to you, that in exam, there will always be an unseen question. Exam will be 21st question, 40. You prepare 100 question. There is no guarantee that in exam, you will get the question from what you have done. Exam question will be 101st, okay? It will always be an unseen question. And you can only do it, the unseen question, if you know how to do it. If you have done 25 questions very well with concept, it is much better than doing 100 questions without understanding, okay? So this is a very common mistake that students, they try to do more questions rather than having a focus on understanding how to do it. Okay, so this was about exam format. Uh, Now, another thing is about your how much effort or how much time is needed, required effort to pass the exam. See, in all of these skill level papers, except for F4, if I leave F4 and a little bit of F8 as well. But most exam papers, they would require 140 to 160 hours of effort. Of course, I know that we all are humans. We have different skills. We have different capabilities. That's why I said 140 to 160 hours and then maybe plus minus 10%. But you should consider that this is the amount of time you should allocate. uh, it is always uh, it is always a good idea to quantify. So once you quantify the effort, then you exactly know what is expected from you. So 140 to 160 hours, how do I see that? Topic videos 40 hours maximum. F5 syllabus is not really very long, so I think 30 hours, 35 hours, and then probably some repetition. Okay, so 40 hours is the maximum time you need for the topic videos. You actually can reduce it. Question videos are on your portal available approximately 40 hours. So 40 plus 40, 80 hours. You can consider it 70 to 80 hours of workload for question videos only. Okay. Then you have reading notes. If you go and start reading the BPP study text or Kaplan, actually I follow and recommend BPP book. Um, the syllabus, the sequence of the chapters, I follow the BPP. But I would not recommend you to read BPP book or Kaplan, because reading the book is actually, it takes a lot of time, 600 pages. Books are very good, books are very important, but they are actually important for those people who are not watching the video lectures. If you have already spent 80 hours on watching video lectures, then within the book it is the same thing. So if you have watched my activity based costing method or maybe throughput accounting, then you go and open the book, it is the same thing. So first you watch, then you read. It's a repetition of work, so it's not a good idea. Yeah, you refer to the book if you do not understand something. So if I try to explain something to you and maybe I'm not able to explain, or maybe you are not getting me, then you can open up the book and see, you know as a reference. So avoid the book, instead use my notes. Notes will have less reading time because these are approximately less than 200 pages. So 180, 190 pages notes are there, which are in great detail, very relevant, very specific for exam. So this will save you a lot of time. And then you need to do practice on your own, 50 hours minimum. How do I say 50 hours? You are going to spend something like 20 hours on 25 hours on section C questions. If you do 20, 25 long questions, that is enough for you. More than that is not needed. Don't tell me that, you know what, I must do 100 questions. What do you mean you should do 100 questions? Are you so, I don't want to use the wrong word, but are you so stupid that you need to do 100 times to understand something? 25 questions are enough. Trust yourself, respect yourself. Do 20, 25 questions, but do them as they should be done. Okay? Do them with, how to say, proper understanding, not like trying to do it very fast. Don't do it fast. Understand it well, that what you are doing. And then 25 will be enough. And then remaining 25 hours you can spend on section A and section B. Okay? Schedule. This is a very common question. Students, they ask that, how much should I study? How many hours in a day? How many hours in a week? Usually, this is not a question which you should be asking me or I should be answering to this. But let's see. Set your weekly
Uh,
goal. Don't set your goals on daily basis. Okay, first about setting your goals. Uh, most of us are working professionals. I know in this class, Vertex students mostly are working professionals. So it is very hard to set, goals on daily basis. Okay. So don't put your goals on daily basis. Set your goals on weekly basis. Set a weekly target. Okay. See, there is a psychological side of this as well. I see it as a psychological side. For example, I know that I have a very difficult schedule, and I know that probably I will not be able to give time on daily basis. But still, I try to push myself, and I set a daily goal. So if I set a daily goal and then I do not do it, I miss the target. Tomorrow, I again miss the target. A day after, I again miss the target. So what is happening? I am training myself. I'm becoming habitual, on missing my goals or missing my targets. So it becomes a habit, which is a bad habit. Instead of developing this bad habit of missing these everyday goals, set a weekly goal and then achieve it, so that on Sunday evening you say, oh, I did my work. So then it gives you a different level of confidence. It gives you a different level of satisfaction. And it also develops a habit of achieving the goal. So make it realizable, make it practical, and make it weekly. Okay. So set your weekly goals. I don't believe in setting daily goals. We are not soldiers after all. And then weekly workload, how many hours you should be studying. So if you start now, so today is, I think, 14th of March 2025, and you still have something like 10 weeks until the end of May, maybe 11 weeks actually. So what you should be doing is, like, you should be 12 to 15 hours per week. This is the effort you need to give. But remember, if you don't study in 1 week, 15 hours you are missing. So these 15 hours will be transferred to the next. Your workload is not going to be reduced. Workload will remain same. So if you don't give 15 hours this week, next week is 30 hours. How can you do that? So try to do it. That's why I said, okay, Monday you are busy, Tuesday you went to a wedding, Wednesday you are not feeling good, but then Thursday, Friday, Saturday do the extra work and finish it on Sunday. So set your weekly targets and finish the work in 1 week, okay? It's very important to cover it week by week, because otherwise what will happen that you will have 2 weeks until exam and still 50% of the work is left, which is not a good idea. Very important area which I want to discuss, exam preparation process. See, a lot of students I have, when I ask students, like it's like 10 days or 15 days before exam, and I say, what are you doing? Sir, I'm studying. What are you doing? What are you studying? I'm watching your video lectures. My video lectures are not going to do any good to you 15 days before exam. You see, you need to understand the importance of every, how to say, just like a good diet. A good diet is not only about fat or protein, it's about everything. It is about vitamins as well, and different types of vitamins. To keep your body healthy, you need to have a balanced diet. Similarly, you need to have a balanced approach towards exam preparation. Only spending time on watching videos is not going to save you. Okay. So I actually see this process as 4 stages. Number one is where you are learning. So watching video lectures, seeing my tutor slides, reading my notes. This is the stage you are actually learning. This is a learning stage. You are not preparing for exam directly. Okay. So you are just acquiring the knowledge. Acquiring knowledge. See, why do they give 2 books? Study text and practice kit. Two different books. They have 2 different books. I have studied management accounting in university. You have done also many subjects in university. There is always one book for one subject. ACCA or this CIMA, these qualifications, they give you 2 books because they understand that the first book, which is the study text, it is for gaining the knowledge. But the second book which is for preparing the exam. So you need to give importance or, weightage to both of them. So when you say I am reading the book or I'm watching the video lectures, you are not getting ready for exam. You are just learning. Okay. You are absorbing the knowledge. This is stage one. Second is engage yourself. For example, make the study plan. We have an excellent software for preparing your customized study plan. Go to the course link on your, before you have your ACCF 5 course curriculum. Before chapter 1, there is a section called resources. Within resources, there is a link which is given to the customized study planner. Make the planner, make a good plan. Okay, this is, I'm starting on 15th of March. I want to end on 25th of May. I want to study on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Select the days, select the number of hours which you want to study. 2 hours on Tuesday, 3 hours on Wednesday, 3 hours on Sunday, whatever. And then choose the type of topics you want to do. I want to do lecture videos or question videos or both of them. So, and then the system will create a plan for you. Download the mobile application to your phone number. Every day, when you have a target, you will receive a mobile notification that your target today is, chapter number 4, lecture number 5, 6, and 7. So it keeps you on track. Then you do not, if you don't have this track, then you finally mess up in the end. You say, only 1 week, 1 month is left, and I've just done 20% of the syllabus. So study plan. WhatsApp groups we have, and these are very, very, very useful. Vertex students who have already passed some exams with us, they understand the importance of WhatsApp group. I've seen today in this, there are so many people here. Somebody has done F6, F7, F9 with us. They know that what is the importance of this group. You get stuck, you take a screenshot of the question, put it in the group, we will respond. You want to ask something, type something, send a voice note, and you will get the answer. So it's very important. WhatsApp group. Online assignments you have, webinars you should attend, the weekly live webinars, do assignments. And this is like engaging yourself, not like, oh, I bought the course and then I go to sleep. Then you go for hibernation and then you wake up 30 days later. So nothing can be done. It's already too late. So remain engaged, okay? Engaged through this mobile app, engage through the live weekly webinars, assignments, WhatsApp group. You can ask questions, others are asking questions, so pay attention. Test yourself, attempt quizzes. We have got something like more than 250 questions, 250 MCQs are on your portal. If you do all of them, and if you understand all of them, there is a big possibility that exam question is not going to be same, but it could be similar somehow. Because in exam, they are not going to ask you MCQs from questions from history or geography. Questions will be about costing, budgeting, variances. And these are, and you have done. So if you have done 40 questions from variances, most probably you have covered all aspects of the topic. Okay. So do MCQs, do your quizzes, see your result, find out your weak areas where you make mistakes, do them again. Do them again. Quizzes, I consider it as the best way of learning. Let me write it down. Best way of learning. Because if I teach you 1 hour for on one topic, and then you go and read 1 hour from the book on the same topic, after this 2 hours, I do not know, and you also do not know that what you did not understand. I don't know that how much you understood. You also do not know. We only can identify your weak areas very quickly through a quiz. And then, oh, this you got it, this you got it, but this is where you made a mistake. So immediately you correct it. So when you have corrected your mistakes during quizzes, so if the same question comes in exam, you will not make a mistake there. So please, quizzes is not like some leisure time activity. It's a very important integral activity in exam preparation. Okay. And then we have progress test, like for one section, there is a progress test, for another section, separate progress test, and final mock exam. And finally, some icing on the top, which we say, attend the pre-exam webinars, read technical articles, examiner report. A lot of students they miss here. A lot of students they miss here. It's very important. I cannot imagine any ACCA student going to ACCA exam without reading examiner report. Examiner report, examiner tells you that in the recent sessions, what common mistakes students they have made. So you are also one of the students. So what mistakes are made by the others, most probably you also will you will also fall into the same trap. So it gives you a good guidance. If you're going to a new location, you're going to a new city, you ask someone that, okay, I'm going to that location, which things I should be visiting, which things I should be, careful about, what mistakes or what, precautions I should take. So somebody guides you. So when you go there, now you will have a more, how to say, a learned approach. You know already about the place. You know what to do. You know what not to do. Okay, so examiner report, it will not take a lot of time. 30 minutes in one report, 30 minutes in second report. Read last two sessions examiner reports. It will be very helpful for you. Okay. And then finally, just concluding here, I always say that success is not a random event. Success is actually, it's a pattern. For example, you take first quiz, you pass. First progress test you passed, second progress test you pass, third progress test you pass, mock exam you passed. So what will happen in the final exam? Most probably you will pass. But first, if on the other side, another student, first progress test he passed, second progress test he failed, third he passed, fourth he missed, fifth he failed, sixth he passed, what will happen here? I don't know. God knows. There is no pattern. So pass, you will pass in the end as well. So it's a pattern which you need to be, which you need to develop. Now, to cover all this thing, what Vertex is going to give you lecture videos for complete syllabus. And for F5, we have actually recently we are updating our video lectures in 2025. So you have noticed that almost all of the chapters are new. Last two chapters are remaining, and I'm preparing those as well. Those will also be made available. So complete syllabus videos, which are very detailed. Question videos you get, study notes you have on the portal, study plan you must be creating, and like I said, that customized study plan which is exactly according to your needs. You will set it up for you: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 2 hours, 1 hour, 3 hour, which type of topics. And get that mobile application on your phone as well, so that you get the notifications and follow the plan. So once you create a plan and you start following it, you need to have a plan to achieve something. Without planning, it's luck. So when you have a concrete plan and you follow the plan, most probably you are going to be successful. If you do not have a plan, then success is just an outcome of your luck or something. Chapter by chapter quizzes you get on the portal, weekly assignments and progress tests you get on the portal, and tutor support on the WhatsApp group. Remain active in the WhatsApp group. Weekly live sessions. Weekly live sessions will not be done by me. Weekly live sessions will be done by Sir Haris, a very experienced tutor for F5 with a lot of position holder students. So he will be doing weekly live sessions with you. Um, Final mock exam, of course. And that's all. Anything you want to ask until here? Any questions you have?